Attention listener, the following broadcast has been created for entertainment and comedy purposes. If you do not find it funny or entertaining, just don't listen. LOL. Nobody is forcing you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Perth's #1 interracial podcast hosted by two men born in the year 1997. And today, introducing our guest at this time, he is, in my eyes, the reigning, defending EPW champion, if only the referee stayed on the ground, Taylor! The King of Fremantle, King!
Woo! My man, that's probably the best introduction I've ever got, and I've had some good ones. So
You are now
that announcer job.
Your dream of becoming a wrestler just died because they're just going to want you as a ring announcer.
yeah, for sure.
Welcome, Taylor. Welcome
Thank you for having me.
to our show.
Oh, it's amazing. The setup's amazing.
Yeah.
The fact there's a camera here is awesome. So,
Take the things off now.
oh,
Yeah.
there's a big
Why-
reveal. Red.
Why did the lights have to be
Off, because
Yeah.
I want it to be like, like center light, dark.
yeah,
invisible
yep.
type thing.
If only we had a floodlight. Like a spotlight.
Yeah, if I could full on
We
spotlight.
should have just gone for white. We could have changed. Oh well. I'm not going to make you do that again. I feel like you'll run out of oxygen.
No, I'll edit it in. I'll just cut everything out except for triangle and only have me in some way. I'll figure it out. Don't you worry.
That'll look sick.
Welcome on, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. This is it's a great pleasure to jump on the potty, and the effort that you guys are going to for me is unreal. So I really appreciate that.
What can I say? We treat our guests with great honor.
I can feel it. I can feel it. Don't worry.
Now, as we said, you're our second in-person guest ever.
And I just want to say, we were just saying this before the show. We built a guest. The Taylor's not even real. He's a robot. Because what are the chances that we could find anyone in Perth who supports our two teams from two completely different sports?
And I've rocked up with this
And he's
by
rocked up with
chance
both of them as well. Look at
Was it
that.
by chance, I'll
And
let you guys decide.
he's a wrestler,
Since when did Liverpool wear purple?
goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper.
Come on.
I
Get
think they're
into
wearing
it.
purple again this year as third kit, so I might have to get that as well. Every time they get a purple kit, I get it just because of Freo. So.
I love Liverpool.
Fair.
Yeah.
Support both teams at once.
Exactly right.
Let's go. All right. As we said like 3 episodes ago, we were meant to have a guest, but he pulled out because my suspect. It was the night after City won the Champions League, and he's a City supporter. So I was like, "You're too drunk." Don't you?
Yeah. Well, I was flying out of Europe when City just won the league, so I was flying out of Amsterdam, and there was obviously people connecting from Istanbul, like in Amsterdam, to get back to England. There was like all these City fans, like sunglasses on, like red eyes, just full Jack Grealish.
Full
pretty
Jack
much.
Grealish, yeah.
Yeah. So
On that episode, we I guess we created some questions using ChatGPT. Some random questions that are just out there that no one would ever ask. That would.
Thought of a
Give
bonus
us-
one on the way here as well.
You got a bonus
Yeah, I
one?
got
Yeah,
a
we can
bonus
replace
one.
that bottom one because he is that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We'll get to it.
this is the same software that made that Alexis McAllister song, right? Like,
Yeah,
like
the
just,
same one, yeah.
it just creates it
Yeah.
out of nothing. That's
It also
technology be wild.
writes my class. I'm a high school
Yeah.
teacher, and I use it to write my classes. So
amazing.
work smart, not hard.
Yeah, right.
So we got the 10 questions here for you. We'll go one at a time and ask them to you. They're really random.
Okay, good.
So you can go first, Brandon.
All right, yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. If you could talk to animals, what conspiracy theory do you think tigers would have? I know. At first you think it's a question, and then it's not that question.
Yeah, Am I trying to think too deeply about this? Like,
No,
what would
just do it. First thing
go
on your.
ham.
Oh, I don't know. That hippos are automated killing machines made by the government.
That's more out there than my answer. My answer was they would be asking questions about where they got the stripes from.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good shout.
And I went with like a zebra fucked a cheetah or something.
Yeah.
Wow,
his answer.
they're all pretty viable, to be honest.
Yeah, well, like, different religions we have different answers. different tigers from different parts of the world. If my next question, if you were a sandwich, what sauce would be best served with you?
Oh, I reckon like a fiery barbecue. You know, just like it tastes good, but it's all got that little bit of kick to it as well. So, is that me? I don't know. Is that question a bit sexual? Like, no, sorry, was that answer a bit sexual?
Do you know, I realize dudes get around condiments more than chicks do.
For sure.
We love a condiment.
Yes.
Like, everything must have some form of sauce on it.
Yeah.
Maybe we just don't have the lubricated mouths that most females probably have. Though. We just have dry
the
mouths.
salivary glands? I should know this. No, I'm an exercise sports scientist. I was a wrestler, so I should know which gland that is, but whatever.
If you could have a conversation with any fictional character, who would it be?
Oh, good question. Very good. Fictional character. Jeez, that's a tough one. Maybe Triple H and the Chaperone, just for a laugh, because that movie's meme so hard. So, what it's like to be the biggest meme of all time. Triple H's sideburns driving a school bus, like sick.
I had no idea he was even in a movie. That's why.
Yeah, because it was straight to DVD, brother.
If you could magically transform into any inanimate object, what would you be?
This is an easy question. If you know me well enough, I made a joke. It was about a year ago. So Dua Lipa was touring around.
Yeah.
And there's this infamous clip, you might have seen it, where she pretty much has sex with the mic stand.
Yeah.
So Dua Lipa's mic stand.
She does it at every show. That is a great answer.
My goodness.
I think I would genuinely give up all the good things in my life to be that mic stand.
Yes. Yeah.
That threw my answer of the chair.
He was just like, I want to be in a chair so people could sit on me.
Similar concepts. I think our minds are on the same wavelength here.
That's a crazy game of Russian roulette, though. If you turn yourself into a chair and then make yourself available at Officeworks, it's like, who's going to buy you, bro?
That is...
If you could match... Oh, no, that's the one you just said. If you were a fruit, what fruit would you be and why?
Ooh, I would like to be... What fruits are disrespected, I feel like... I feel like a rock melon, so I wouldn't want to be one of those because no one chooses that. Just someone that everyone likes. This is probably a bit of a personality complex that I need to get checked. I crave approval so much. I reckon strawberries. They're cute, like they taste good. They got nice little bit of hair on top. With little leaves.
They fluctuate in price depending on the season.
Yes, exactly. Wait till I'm not the flavor of the month in EPW anymore. My prices are falling.
If you could invent a new sport that had to be played at inside a house, how would you incorporate a vacuum cleaner?
It's one of my favorite questions.
Ooh. I reckon it's got to be something like in a form of bowling. So you got to roll a small ball down, but the other person can have a vacuum once a game and vacuum it up. So say you're going for a buzzer beater to win. Yeah. The other person get the vacuum's almost like a... not a get out of jail free card or something, but you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like a lifeline, so you really got to use it at the right time. I don't know. I couldn't think of a reason why I could use it. Maybe pick up the house cat and see how far you can walk around with it sucked into the vacuum or something. Is that a better answer?
That's a competition.
Get it to the Olympics, Paris.
If you were these were great questions. That's really coming back to me. If you were a flavor of ice cream, what unique combination of flavors would represent you? So you can make your own ice cream combo here.
Yes. Okay. So there needs to be a bit of substance, and I love this in ice cream. So I need cookie dough chunks. I reckon something because I hate when ice cream is just cream the whole way through. You know what I mean? I want a little bit of something in there, like Cold Rock. You know how they smash stuff in. But I reckon cookie dough because everyone loves cookie dough. Let's be honest. Yeah. Cookie dough. And then maybe being Italian, I guess maybe.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not even. This might be sacrilegious, but it's like the pineapple on pizza question, isn't it?
This is crazy.
Get offended by.
He's Italian.
I'm Italian. Believe it or not, King is a very traditional Italian last name. I don't know if you knew that. So we got the cookie dough. I reckon like something like more out there that doesn't really complement it. Because like me, I'm like I guess a hybrid wrestler. Like, you know, I'm a heavyweight, but I do like a lot of high flying stuff as well.
You do.
So
It's going to be cookie dough and lime.
cookie dough and lime. I was actually thinking like a sorbet. So I think we're on the same wavelength there. Let's go. Yeah, cookie dough and lime.
Cookie dough and lime sorbet.
Yeah.
If you had to live in a fictional world from a book or movie, which one would you choose and what role would you play?
Oh, that's a really good question. I reckon it almost has to be Harry Potter, right? Hogwarts. I think that would be pretty cool.
That's what you
But
That's what I said.
I'm going then, you know, I'm turning heel here. I ain't going for that main character energy because like I've this thing with my mates where like I won't shut up about the Chamber of Secrets because I reckon it's the greatest movie because there's a giant snake in it.
Yeah.
So I want to be the basilisk, I reckon.
You want?
Lurking, causing havoc, you know, like beneath the school grounds.
I said Hogwarts, but I was just like, I would want to go as myself and just start off as a first year and just live my entire Hogwarts experience and just do whatever I want.
That's actually that is a very sane answer. See,
Yeah.
see what's going through my head. You have to be like,
You're like,
normal.
I want to be a snake.
Yeah, snake, yeah.
I'll let you do that one so I can.
Oh, yeah.
So question 10 originally was, if you were a professional wrestler, and then ... which is you are. So so my question that I thought of on the way here was, what is your favorite remote control?
Are we talking like everything here, like fan, TV, like aircon?
Anything ever. So you can even think of all of the video game controllers.
I think it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think it's the DualSense, like the new PlayStation.
Oh,
mode.
okay.
Like
Alright,
it's
yeah.
just the dynamics of it, like how like I remember when I played with it for the first time and like the sounds coming out of the controller and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm in an episode of Black Mirror or something. Like, you know, like crazy technology's gone too far.
The haptic feedback.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. It's almost as if like I feel like I'm getting robbed in Foot Champs when I'm playing FIFA, you know, like I'm actually there getting robbed.
Nothing beats the OG Guitar Hero for me.
Oh, that's a great answer.
The actual guitar.
Yeah, the guitar. Yeah.
I didn't think of that. That's a good answer. I suck at guitar and instruments, so yeah, but that is a great answer. Love that.
If you could have a conversation with any historical figure, who would it be? And what, if you can think of a question, what would the first question be?
That's a very good question. I'd like to unlock a big secret.
Oh.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, go to like, I was going to say Lance Armstrong, Neil Armstrong, and be like, was the moon landing fake?
Real?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, real or fake? Like, you know what I mean? Because that's obviously a big conspiracy theory. And then if I come out with like, I'm thinking like TMZ, like, you know what I mean? Like Neil Armstrong, and like it's me interviewing him, and then I break it, and then there's clout, I guess. I don't know.
Like, I'm famous.
Yeah, I'd like to get to the bottom of something like that. But like, I'm trying not to go too controversial with the conspiracy theories, you know?
Oh no, we're a big fan of conspiracy theories.
That's good. Yeah, I didn't want to be like 9/11 or something like that. That's a sensitive topic.
Obviously, 9/11 is obviously the traditional, you know, the traditional conspiracy theory or the traditional global event that everyone goes to. But how was that submarine this week?
I've already seen conspiracies coming out of that, actually.
There's so many, and it's so easy. It's just like, you know, we'd like to talk about relevant things on the podcast, but my remote control question actually was inspired
because of that
by the submarine.
She said what was it?
The Logitech.
Logitech
controller.
And that just reminded me of like when I'd break a remote as a kid and mum wouldn't pay for the expensive like
That's what happened
PlayStation
down there.
remote. They give me the Logitech, like, you were getting a DualShock, get out of here.
I saw a video of 3 remote controls that would have been better than the Logitech, and it was a Bop It.
Oh.
That's great. Just like twist it.
That's so good.
The Wii controller with the nunchuck.
Yeah.
So you have and then the third one was the Guitar Hero. Imagine controlling a submarine with a Guitar Hero remote controller.
Shredding is just going like up and down because that's like the buoyancy. Oh god.
You're listening
to absolute
nonsense.
I hope now you guys all know a little bit more about Mr. Taylor King. I wanted to, before we go any further, quickly plug everything. So, what do we have? We're almost at 100 subscribers on YouTube in a month. That's been pretty cool.
Wow.
We're still getting loads of views on there. Not on our actual episodes, but on the
shorts.
reels.
Yeah,
on
the shorts.
They're pulling in numbers. Go on there, subscribe. Go like us on Instagram at absolute.nonsense with no vowels except for the first A. That's about it, really. That's everywhere we have.
Yep.
Do you want to shout yourself out quickly?
Yeah, I'll shout out the local wrestling going on, I guess.
Yeah.
If you want to follow me, I'm at the Real Taylor King on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Real Taylor King. I have a YouTube channel. I don't really post there too much, but you can find me there. And then also EPW Perth on Instagram.
Facts.
We have shows coming up. We have the Roxy Riot tribute show for one of the wrestlers former wrestler who unfortunately passed away way too young from meningitis. So that's a tribute show to her, and also a fundraiser for Meningitis Australia. That's on August 5th out at the Armadale Arena. And then August 12th, I have a steel cage match.
Yes, he does.
I win my EPW championship off the Don at the Cannington Showgrounds and Exhibition Centre.
We plugged that last episode as well.
Oh,
yes.
I find it super iconic that your Instagram name is, what is it, the Real Taylor King?
Yeah.
Yeah, when wrestling's not real.
What?
It was a joke.
Oh my god, that's an awful joke.
That's fair.
I had to say it.
I find it more like, I guess, ironic for the fact that like, who's going to impersonate me? Like, it's not like I have like people making fake accounts of me. Yeah.
Who knows? Today might be the day you get one.
We're going to need a real absolute nonsense as well after it blows up.
Here's my conspiracy theory on fake Instagram accounts. You know, whenever like one of your friends has like a fake adults only Instagram page made up on them, and then your friend is like, please
Delete 'em.
please, this is not me, please delete it, haha, you wish, winky I genuinely believe half of those accounts have been made by those people.
Wow, that
Just
is
for
a
clout.
great shout.
Just for, like, I need people to realize that I'm important enough and sexy enough for people to make a fake account on me, and they do it for clout.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That is actually so good.
Yeah, it's my
Wow,
conspiracy
'cause
on it.
I was like, yeah, I want to be one of those
'Cause
people.
I-
Come
I
on.
remember it happening to like a bunch of girls that I follow on my photography page all at once, and like it would happen to one girl one day, and then all the people that she followed started popping up and doing the same thing, and I'm like, I watched their follow counts go up, and I was like, they're onto something.
So there's
They're onto
a
something.
Brandon sexual account coming straight up, isn't it?
Oh, I'll do one for the potty.
Well, a little bit of backstory for how we got to today. While you were in Europe, so the last event, Evolution was the last one. The one before that was Collision Course.
Yes.
So after Collision Course, I had pretty much every EPW thing popping up, and then you got announced for Evolution. I saw that, and then I went onto your Instagram, scrolled down a little bit, and then was like, oh, I wonder if this guy would come on. And then I was like, oh, he's around our age. And I was like, oh, he's a Liverpool supporter.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's a Docker supporter. And then I slid into your DMs.
Successfully.
Successfully, yeah. When I say I've got his phone number in my phone now.
No, he's actually been cultivating his entire life for the last 4 weeks just to come on the podcast.
Yes.
He
He's
found
been
us.
learning everything there possibly is to know about sport. Like prior to 4 weeks ago, he didn't even know what a Liverpool was.
No. What is this?
He found out it was
is
a
this
place.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
Like, what's this? Funnily enough, I actually have a liver bird on my calf. Like you probably see
Yeah,
it.
I've
like,
seen
with
it,
my
yeah.
boots. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people ask me, I thought it was like a Pokemon or something on there. I was like, I'm like, I've got this huge ink on my calf, and people think it's a Pokemon.
Don't even know what it is.
What Pokemon is this? Hey, it's the real Taylor King.
Not the fake one.
I wanna be the very best.
I don't know. Do you know the song?
I never was.
Yeah, that's it. There we go.
To catch them is my real.
Can you
quest.
please walk out to the Pokemon song at your next event?
I think I might have to now. Live performance as well, a cappella, no backing at all. It'll be horrible.
Just at the beginning of your walkout, you hear, "What Pokemon is that?" And then so you're like, "Taylor King," and then your song will start.
And I come out of a Pokeball. That's actually money. That's money. I like that.
Well, you had the red trunks last time, so you're already halfway there.
Exactly.
Just need a white knee pad, And you're ready to go.
Steel cage match is like no DQ, right?
Yes.
Yes. So that belt is yours because there's no disqualification.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
Just have like a giant Pokemon ball in the middle of the ring at the start, and the dude's like, "What is this?" And then you just jump out.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, Don's a bit too old to actually know what a Pokemon is or whatever. All these old codgers.
Oh, the trash
around
talk is
wrestling.
starting.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It was starting when he was in Europe.
Yeah,
He was like
so,
sending videos out. And I'm like, hey, Don.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you.
Well, he can't beat me up if I'm in Europe. So no, I'm not being a coward like that.
And then while you're in Europe, you went to Liverpool,
Yes,
Anfield.
amazing.
Tell me everything.
It was amazing, dude. So like, my trip kind of was centered around that. That's what I knew I wanted to do in England first and foremost. I knew I'd find a booking in wrestling somewhere, which happened to be in Blackpool. But I made sure I was in Liverpool for like 4 days, so I could, spend a day experiencing the city, then a day at the game, then a day at the stadium tour, and then like a day like on the Friday going out. And it was awesome, man. Like Anfield itself is just like this fortress. I remember seeing it for the first time, and like obviously people say that's like the vibe of it, like, oh, Anfield's a fortress, but it literally felt like that because it's just you walk through like houses everywhere, and then there's this big like rising structure, like
Just as you get to it.
yeah, because it's not actually in the city centre, so like it's a
Chills.
little bit out. Yeah, so I bought a 4-pack of Copperberg ciders, and since you can drink in the streets, there I was just cracking those, drinking, had the AirPods in, it was great, and obviously the weather was really nice because it was heading towards summer over there, if not summer already, and the game was amazing, man. Atmosphere. Absolutely unreal. You never walk alone. Unreal. Like all that stuff. Watching Salah score like right in front of me.
Yeah, I saw that on your Instagram.
Oh man,
Yeah.
crazy. Like I was a little bit bummed out at the end because I was like, it was a penalty goal and it was 1-0 against Fulham. But then my mates like kind of like talked me off the ledge a bit. They were like, dude, like not in the sense of like, not in the sense I was about to jump off like the cop. Like I'm like, 1-0.
This isn't good enough. I want better.
Yeah. Peace, no. But they were like, dude, like you just watched like Salah, like one of Liverpool's best ever players, score directly in front of you. Like that's amazing, and then celebrate right in front of me. So
That's beautiful.
yeah,
It's
man.
it's really interesting because you support two teams who in 90 minutes of football kick the same amount of goals.
Correct.
But I did. I'll just do it now, I guess. It's a little. What's that thing when people like show you the body in front of you?
Reveal.
Reveal.
Oh, like a flash. Yeah.
Now I feel left out.
I was like, surely.
So what do they?
Of course I did.
What's
That's
the
such a
other?
nice
What's
kit.
the other kit that they have? Do they have a white one?
They do, yeah. They.
I would look nice in that.
This year they do. They got white and green, which is really random.
Green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand English. I don't know if it's just English, but I'm just going to say English football clubs, and they're like, all right, so we're going to go with our, our traditional home colors. We might have a white kit for our clash kit, and then we're going to have like orange with a volcano on it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much how it goes.
I want to go to those board meetings. And it's just like some kid in a corner with crayons. What
Legit.
crayon did Johnny eat today? We'll go with that one.
Yeah, like Mo Salah's kids, like chief of like designing the kits just with like crayons and stuff. I could see that happening. Yeah, for sure.
Did you go to Liverpool when they came? No, not Liverpool. Did you go to Sydney when Liverpool came?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was there as well.
So I went to the Sydney one, which was 2017, I think.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it was
or
just
18?
before we bought Salah. Like I remember
okay.
we were in talks of buying him.
Yeah.
And because like Gerrard played in Carragher, that was sick.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
awesome. Yeah. So like two legends of the club, like just coming down to Australia. Like I never thought because Gerrard had left by then. I thought I'd never get to see him play in a Liverpool shirt live, and then I did, which was awesome.
He probably lives here.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
He's in Saudi Arabia now. Eh? He just didn't. Was
No,
that real? I saw
No,
that
I
he
think
signed
turned
as
it
a
down.
manager.
I think he turned it down. He got offered, I think, but yeah. Like Saudi Arabia's out of control right now.
Bruh.
Like Ronaldo goes, and now like half of like
Chelsea have left.
like legit, probably doing
But
some good.
Chelsea's
actually.
very dodgy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
There's a
Chelsea
lot
would
of-
probably lose every game in the Saudi league with the way they're
I mean,
going.
at the end of the day, like football has always, it's had money in Europe for so long, but now that there are other places that have that money that they're throwing because they see it as a cash grab, it's a massive cash grab,
100%.
and now all of the there's been a culture that's been built off. It's not really about the quality of the opposition or the quality of the league. It's more just about the payday.
Yes.
And now the American league is popping off, and the Saudi Arabia league is popping off.
Yeah.
And it's just because they're throwing so much money behind it.
Yeah.
It's funny to watch from
Yeah.
from someone who's
Non-football?
not huge football fan.
Yeah, and it's just like it's this whole like money is kind of like you see with those teams like Chelsea come to Perth and like they're giving away tickets because they can't fill out Optus. But teams like Liverpool come here and I think there was 96,000 at the MCG in 2013. Adelaide Oval was the other one I went to in 2015. That was like a sellout at like 60,000 or whatever they have there. And then the Sydney one as well was like packed house as well. But you see the clubs that like actually have some, I don't want to say moral fiber, they have some substance to them. Like they're not just like like PSG nowadays. Like I'm a sucker for this. I own PSG stuff because I love Air Jordan.
are, yeah.
So like of course I'm going to cop that.
They've got top tier branding.
Oh
Top
man,
tier,
but that's what they are. They're more of a
fashion choice. Well, they are from France.
exactly.
They are. They are
As I
from
said,
France.
Venezia, obviously a smaller team, but like so many people have these Venezia kits in the Serie A, but just because like they've got like Kappa and like these awesome designs and stuff, and people just see it as fashion, and like it's kind of ruining football to a certain extent, and like in that regard. But I feel as though like it's good to still see teams out there like that. Like when I was in Liverpool, to try back to that, like, people like this club means everything to them, whereas like, PSG, I'm sure there's people in Paris that, are very attached to it. But then people are like, yeah, Mbappe, Neymar, and like Messi was there, Sergio Ramos, all this. And I'm just like, yeah, like you're just following players. It's turning into like the NBA is already like that. And I can already kind of see it starting to happen in football.
Yeah, for sure. And the NBA is breaking us all.
I mean, yeah, I feel from a non-football fan really I feel like there are those players are really awesome to have because they bring new fans to the sport. So, for example, I watched more football over the last 12 months than I probably ever have.
For the World Cup and stuff. And
the World Cup was on, but
Argentinian.
But even like aside from that, I was just watching it for Haaland.
Yeah,
it was exciting, and it made me watch games, and I've never done that, but I was like, I actually want to watch this guy. It's fun.
Yeah,
and I was like supporting Man City when I was watching them just because I enjoyed watching it. Erling Haaland.
Yeah,
cheat code of a human.
Yeah, straight into it.
Human.
You reckon we could get him on the podcast?
No.
He'd be. Have you seen some of his interviews when he was at Dortmund? He was hilarious.
He's like hell loose.
Yeah, like just a weirdo. Like he was with a yoga instructor and was like pretty much just flirting with her the whole time.
Yeah.
And there was one where like it was the first game around the world since COVID broke out, and Germany had it behind closed doors. They had it Westfalenstadion, which is like their home ground, the yellow wall. And the reporter asked him, he's like, Erling, how did it feel, and why did you go and celebrate in front of the yellow wall with nobody in there? He's like, why not? Like that was his, and then just stares at the reporter.
I think he's waiting for something more. They're like,
there was another one where he's like back there and like he's like talking to him, and the camera gets held close, and he's like, whoa, like so close.
I think he's a normal dude, but he's really riding on the thing. Everyone call him a robot.
Yeah,
I think he's like going like, I'll play along. I'll push it hard. Like,
100%.
Gets everyone chatting about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, football's like that as well. Like, it's kind of like the cult of personalities in a sense of like, your Ibrahimoviches and stuff. Like, and that's why they get such a big following. Like, Ibra was great in his own regard, but like half of it was just around like what he'd say about like,
the personality.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of people who are robots, I've got a massive question for both of you. Big news this week. It's going to be the world's biggest ever cage fight. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. Yeah, the Don versus Taylor King.
Exactly. Yeah, no, 100%. No, your man is taking on the Facebook kingpin in a cage. Have you seen that?
No.
So Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg have an organized MMA fight that who's the guy that leads
Dana White?
Yeah, Dana White is setting it up. And they're both martial arts trained apparently.
Yeah, I know Mark is. I don't know Elon.
Yeah, Elon
pasty white man himself.
Yeah, he did
the original super glue.
Yeah. He did some he did sumo wrestling. Like, yeah, I know. And like Japanese jiu-jitsu or something like that. I haven't really looked into it because at first I thought it was a meme. But but then of course
sounds like somebody's wet dream.
Dude, like two of the biggest billionaires whacking each other in the head. Like, oh god, if it happens, I'm gonna be so excited for that. I'll throw a house party and it'll be Tesla Facebook themed. It'll just be like you have to like. Entry into my house, you'll have to like write a Facebook status or tweet. Like,
oh, it's Twitter v Facebook as well.
It's Twitter v Facebook.
Oh.
This is huge, bro.
I didn't see this.
This is massive.
We got to be careful which side we back here, right? Like,
oh yeah, you've got a Twitter page. We don't have anything yet.
yeah,
so
Twitter's toxic, bro. Anyway,
Yeah,
like,
it's awful.
Bro, I just like
That's
football
why I
stuff
didn't
on
get
there.
it.
That like literally my algorithm has got like the Arctic Monkeys are in there now, like because it has like a For You page almost. You know what I mean? So it's like Arctic Monkeys, football, and Dua Lipa.
And Elon Musk just appears out of nowhere.
Yeah,
all
with
the
a
time.
tweet. Yeah, he just puts his
stupid algorithm.
Yeah.
Do you get? We spoke about this like a bunch of episodes ago. Do you get like random notifications from the New South Wales police or like the Queensland police?
No.
saying, no.
What? What's this?
Is it
about?
just me?
Yeah.
I get like I don't know. I might have one now actually.
This is interesting.
I said
Oh,
this.
here you go.
I
Twitter.
oh no way.
Oh no, it's Mr. Beast and boxing this time. Don't
Well, I
worry.
was saying the other day, my Twitter's always been quite normal. I've followed a few accounts, so it kind of targets.
Oh,
but then randomly one time there was just a penis. I was like,
Yeah, apparently Twitter the thing.
Is a thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
because when
OnlyFans?
when Tumblr broke down, when Tumblr was like, we're not allowing 18 plus content anymore, because that used to be like where teenagers went to share their.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird.
You know? No, you know,
I mean,
don't you?
I do, because it was
He knows.
there.
He knows.
He knows exactly.
When I
where
was
it
in high school, it was there, and you had, I can't remember what they were called. They were almost like mood boards, and you would kind
Yeah.
of, yeah.
And you'd make your own like page and
yeah.
I
And,
think
like,
I have one.
my mood board was so
Are you-
weird because it was like edgy. It was edgy metal music
And
and then
penises.
butts.
Mine was like I'm pretty sure it was just like all skating and stuff, like because I was like that was like
Yeah.
peak like Tyler the Creator, Supreme,
Yeah.
like
And
and
you
like
had the penny board, a photo of a penny board kind of hazed out photo skating down a hill with the sunset in the background,
Yeah.
and then there was like a big bold quote that was like "Live, laugh, fuck."
I feel like I'm,
the most important thing.
I've missed a chapter in life.
I think you're
What are you
better
guys
off for
talking
it.
about?
You're better off for it.
There was a cheat code. There was a cheat code in your life where it was like skip chapter 4 and 5, and you were just like, yeah, so skip that.
I'm bouncing.
I was like, I don't need that. Yeah.
This is absolute nonsense.
But yeah, and you touched on Dua Lipa. I saw that as well. You share a lot of Dua Lipa stuff on your.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I
your
do.
grab.
Well, because like people give me a bite of anything, and then it just became like my thing when people started like tagging me, and like I get on Instagram, I'll wake up sometimes. Like a little bit after when she posts, and like people would have like inboxed me her latest posts and stuff, so I've just come to know for it. It's very wild. Well, like I don't know, it's not like an obsessive thing, but I always have these phases where I really like one musician a lot, and then
Yeah.
like don't put a lot of energy
Amen.
into other musicians.
I think the reason I love Dua Lipa so much is because she doesn't annoy me. Because so many people annoy me, and if you don't annoy me, I'm like, I'm a fan.
Yeah, that's enough for me. Yeah, I don't know. I used to hate her actually, like, because I used to be like a big Miley Cyrus fan, like in around I think 2017.
Do they have
Their
some
beef? Yeah.
conflict with her
No,
beef?
they have a song together called Prisoner. It slaps. Great
Yeah.
tune. But so when Miley came back after like the short hair and she was like doing country music and she's back with Liam Hemsworth.
And she started sounding like a robot as well. Like
Yeah.
she got throat. She sounded like she got like throat cancer overnight or something.
Yes, yeah,
Have you
I
heard
think
those
she had
videos
surgery.
where they like,
Yeah.
dude, what
What is
chapters
my
are you
internet?
skipping?
Yeah, no, there's and then
Yeah.
they do like the memes and they'll put
It's
like
all
a
about the
card.
journey.
Yeah, literally, that is spot on. That's how she sounds. Yeah, but there was like, so she just released that album, and I was like mad because like Dua had just broken through with New Rules, and I'm like, who's this chick? Miley Cyrus deserves more. And then she did the Champions League final, when we lost to Madrid, but for some reason, One
Liverpool.
Kiss became like a
Liverpool's
Liverpool
anthem. That's why I thought you loved it so much.
Yeah, no, well that partially, and then I was like, oh, you know what? She's not too bad. And then like her latest album like was like just sick. Like it was like a mix between like an 80s kind of like vibe and then like a bit of modern pop and then all this type of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Like, yeah, this is good. So like, yeah. And like, go through hard times in life. I went through a breakup and it was just one of those things where I was just like, all of her music just spoke to my soul.
Dua Lipa was your breakup artist?
Yeah.
That is sick.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? It definitely was. Yeah.
She's so bright and vibrant. Usually breakup artists are,
like more morbid.
My
dark.
breakup artist was Mac Miller. And, I feel like a lot of people could resonate with that because, a little bit, I guess he was a bit depressed, but
just a bit.
just a little bit.
But, maybe abused some substances, wrote some pretty sad songs. But, like, Dua Lipa's like, I own the world.
There's some, if you listen to Whole of Future Nostalgia, there's some stuff, like, it's more hopeful. Like, it's less sad and more, like, hopeful, like, breakup music. But recently, like, it just clicked with me. I'm like, why don't I listen to Olivia Rodrigo?
She's awesome. I love Olivia.
She just goes ham on people.
I found her slightly annoying at first, but so catchy. So catchy.
Yeah.
I see this note here. That annoys me because I hate that person.
Yeah. I wrote down, just to feed into the algorithm,
Yeah.
I wrote down Taylor Swift.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Absolute junk, man. Do you know not all heroes wear capes? And
But she definitely does.
oh no, I'm not talking about her as a hero. I'm talking about there are these 3 guys that are currently being investigated because they seem to have some link, or police authorities think that there's some suspicion around them being the guys that created like 500 million bots to crash the Ticket Tech website when the tickets came out this week, and they feel like they have some direct link to that, and I'm like, legends.
My guys.
Absolute legends. You made so many little girls cry this week, and I love it.
You love that? Little girls
Yes,
crying?
no, because they need to grow up. They need to grow up. This is a woman who produces way too much music
Agreed.
to even be considered talented. It's like,
That's how you go.
what, she got something like 11 albums or something. 11 albums, and she's like, oh, I kind of got boring for a second, so I'm going to go re-release them now, Taylor's version.
They didn't get boring. She contracts
I
and money
know
and
what
stuff.
it was,
Yeah.
but she really had to put herself in the news for it,
And it's
didn't
like,
she?
yeah, and they're like, oh, this is so popular because she's had 4 albums since she last toured. I'm like, she last toured like 4 years ago. Like literally, like, and that was the Australian leg, so I don't know if there was legs after. It might have been like 2019 was the last time that she toured.
I remember someone giving the Psychedelic Porn Crumpets have 14 studio albums, and someone was going ham about it. Like, that is just tasteless, like, stupid. I'm like, Taylor Swift has been around for half as long as them and has 11 albums.
Yeah, he's got some good points here.
And there's no, someone said to me, have you ever heard one of those albums from start to finish? I was like, I'd rather chew razors.
Well, I have a big grudge because when I rocked up to EPW, one of the wrestlers, thank God it didn't stick, tried to give me the nickname Swifty because of obvious reasons, like Taylor.
Oh, okay.
So,
it didn't click with me.
I was like, yeah, it didn't click with me. I'm like, why are you calling me Swifty?
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Do you know what just resonated with me for a second? I can guarantee you every person that owns a Suzuki Swift is a Taylor Swift fan. I can get that's the same demographic of people. All those girls that
is a great shout.
Oh my God.
Really good
all
shout.
those girls that didn't get tickets to Taylor Swift are future Suzuki Swift drivers.
And if they have one, they're doing doughies in frustration in the Suzuki Swift.
Hey, I think she's okay.
What?
This is absolute nonsense.
All right. We got more questions for you.
Yes.
More questions. So, these questions, a bunch of them were given by our friends who are also wrestling friends. So you met two of them.
Yep, absolutely, yeah.
Cam and Jacques.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one named Kyle, who's the other guest we've had on here.
Mm-hmm.
They've given me questions because I asked him.
Yeah, of course.
So I guess we'll just go in order of them. So the first one is a lot of them to do with wrestling because that's
my only personality trait.
Yeah.
I like to think like a lot of people have like their personality trait is that they're a wrestler. I'm like, my personality trait is that I'm not a like look, as I said with my Twitter algorithm, like everything but wrestling.
Yeah.
Like I don't get anything on there. So like yeah, I like to think I'm more multifaceted than just being a burly man who wrestles in his spandex for a living. I don't know. Like you know what I mean? Whatever.
What is your attire? Because I missed the event.
Oh,
I'm coming to the steel cage one, but because steel cage really sold me.
Yeah,
So
that's yes.
is it is it really spandex?
Yeah, it's more like glittery.
Glittery.
Like yeah, like it's not like just like lycra.
Or the glitters is gold.
So like think of like what would you say? Like dancers material, like it's like a dancing costume. That it's not like just flat out spandex.
That's him there.
For a minute there, I thought, oh, that here.
Yeah, that's him there.
Oh,
that's his ass.
nice ass, Taylor.
That's not America's ass. That's Fremantle's ass.
Oh, Fremantle Alpha, not the King of Alpha.
No,
the King of Fremantle.
King of Fremantle was
it
amazing.
even
I reckon I
better?
might change
My
it
bad.
to that. No,
Yeah.
anything Freo. That's my personality trait is that I'm from Freo.
I'm a docker.
I thought you'd gone straight onto your camera roll on your tablet there and not on your Google Photos. So I thought that you were like one of those middle-aged dads that brought their iPad to an event. It was like,
Hey,
So good. I love when people do that.
I'm
Hey.
just getting it in.
hey, September's coming. You are going to be a dad very soon.
Don't you worry.
You're going to start taking photos on your iPad.
Start tucking that kid into
Like-
the jeans.
into
you
my
know,
track
like
pants.
real dad spec stuff.
All right. I guess they said, "What's your wrestling story?" So like, kind of like, when did you start? Why did you start? What inspired you? And let's go. Just when did you start?
Yep.
And yeah, how did you do it?
Yeah, so like before I started wrestling, I pretty much did I don't know if you've heard Brian Danielson's story. Like when he started, he literally finished his last day of school and drove to Shawn Michaels wrestling school. So mine was like exactly like that. I had my last WACE exam and like Julian Ward. Have you ever seen him live? Probably not because
No.
he moved away when we went away earlier in the year.
Okay.
So he actually picked me up and like he was the one who like told me to come down and try it out. And at that point I was playing like in a preseason for South Freo Colts for footy. And I went down and tried it out and I was just hooked straight away. I was like, I need to do this. And then like stopped going to footy training and then like eventually got cut because of it. My dad was mad because like he played a bit of games down there and stuff and he originally hated wrestling. He loves it now. He's at every show, which is good. Nice little heartwarming full circle moment.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So
That
like,
sounds like a Netflix show, does it not?
A little bit,
That
yeah.
sounds
A little bit, yeah.
You're not
A little
playing
bit.
that goddamn girl sport. What do you mean wrestling's not even real, son? You go play some football. You play some A-grade football.
Oh my God! You unlocked a new voice.
Yeah, I've been working on it.
Yeah.
I've been working on
that was a
it.
good one. He really took me into the moment there. Like my dad was yelling at me. No, but yeah, so we drove out. At this point, we're in like a shed in Maddington. And I remember driving through Maddington and it was like, looked like
Shed is such an Aussie word, isn't it? Shed.
mate. we were driving through and I was like, this is like the worst area I've seen in my life. No disrespect to anybody that lives in Maddington, I just don't really like it. And I was like, what am I getting into? And I got pause for laughter.
We shit on so many suburbs, man. We should have one of those, you know that where we ranked the Spider-Man movies charts? We should do that
tier
for
chart of
like
Perth suburbs.
Yeah, Perth suburbs. What's a top tier suburb for you? I mean, Freo.
Yeah.
Of
Cottesloe.
course.
like
The
those-
Golden Triangle.
Yeah, well, I wasn't really much of a coastal kid, like outside of Freo. Like I was kind of like, you know, more inland, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, and don't go to the beach much, but yeah, Cottesloe's pretty good. It's nice. But yeah, so like, and I rocked up and I went in there and like, you know, even though I was like feeling hell sketchy about it because like where it was, and I have to drive here every week if I want to go. Like, I just got hooked instantly.
Yeah. How old are you? You said
I was
just
17.
17 yeah.
and like 2 months. It was
Yeah.
in December of like 2013. So I've almost been out at 10 years now from the start of training, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you go through the ranks there, you learn how to wrestle, kind of like the stage that I teach now, learning how to fall safely, how to execute moves safely, basic structure of a match, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Year after that, debuted in a food court in Malaga at the Malaga markets.
Nah,
Yeah.
wow. That is awesome.
Ultimate bloody baptism through fire,
Malaga
I'd say.
markets just smell like cinnamon donuts to me. That's like a childhood. You've just unlocked a childhood memory.
Like a trigger? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. The cheapy little 50 cent. It's all mum could afford.
She tried her best, Brandon.
She did.
She tried her best.
Single mum. Mike McGowan didn't give her enough cash.
And that's why he's gone. So basically, yeah. And then I kind of, did those smaller shows, and I was lucky enough to like debut on a main show against like some really good wrestlers. And like I was put in last minute because one of the guys pulled out, and they were like, "Yep, we'll put you in there." And then from there, like they weren't going to book me consistently in my first year. They were like, you still need to go back and train a bit. But like I smashed it out of the park in the first one. And they just kept on giving me chance after chance, and I just kept on, I guess, kicking goals. And then from there, yeah, like I just kind of have gone through a couple of phases.
You weren't kicking goals because you weren't playing that A-grade football.
Was this all through EPW?
Yeah, so EPW pretty much. They're the only place I've kind of been affiliated with in WA. There's a couple of other places, but just kind of
Don't talk about those.
like for different reasons.
So can I ask, who writes your storyline? Do you sit down with a couple of the wrestlers and write it yourself, or are there like people that write the story?
So we have bookers who are like pretty much your producers. They kind of write
yeah.
everything, and then like on
So
show
they're
day,
kind of
they're
just
the
like
ones-
film producers?
Yeah,
sort of?
pretty much. Yeah. And then like your directors are usually like your stage, not your stage, like your production crew. So like your camera guys, even your referees, they kind of direct you through a match. So that's how I kind of liken it to like a movie type scenario. Yeah, but we kind of get told what we're doing, or like they'll ask us, do you have any ideas? Or I can't, like maybe now I could be like, I want to win the EPW title, but like, you don't have, you can't just be like, if you're a first year wrestler, I want to wrestle in the main event for the title. Like you kind of got to know where you're at, and you got to give them a good direction if you're wanting to give them, I guess, any ideas or, directions to go. So yeah. And then people that try to do it the other way, we call them politickers. So they try and like politic themselves into big spots by befriending people of importance and stuff like that.
That's every job ever. It's always who you know.
Yeah. And that's what I do. So that's why I'm in the main event. No, I'm very...
That's why you lost.
Yeah,
Correct.
see,
They were sick of me like, here, have it, you're losing.
there's a plot twist for your Netflix original. Not only did you not play A-grade football, but your dad found out that you were sucking the right people off.
Oh my goodness.
That's not me.
You don't understand how hard this is for me, Dad. I'll leave him alone, sweetheart. Let's just go to one event. We can support him. He's our only boy. Are you an only child?
Did you watch?
No, I'm not.
Did
I'm
you?
just loving the different characters that are making their way into this now. The mum.
Did you watch Forrest Gump this week or something?
Jenny.
No, I've actually felt really insecure that I can't voice act, so I've been practicing some voices.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I've struck a nerve. It's hard. All right. Do you watch wrestling?
Yeah, I do. But here's the thing. Like it becomes a completely different watch once you become a wrestler, because all of a sudden you start to pick up like little structure things, like how wrestling matches are supposed to go, where they're going to go next, like all the little secrets. It's kind of like finding out how a magician does magic. So like you see tricking.
Yeah. See, I had that experience with film.
Yeah?
Like studied film and then like I was no longer enjoying movies anymore. Like, because I saw so many problems with movies that I was like, oh my God, this is like almost unbearable. I stopped watching movies for a little bit, and only recently I feel like I've managed to re-find if like going to watch a film for surface value versus going to watch a film and taking it seriously. Because if I go in and take it seriously and it's a disappointment, then I can pick it to pieces. But then I'm like, I'm going to go watch Fast and the Furious 10 and going to have an absolute giggle.
I'm suiting up and going to the Barbie movie.
Yes!
The boys are suiting up, we're going full tough.
Yes!
Did you know John Cena's in that somewhere?
And do you want to know the biggest plot twist of them all?
Yeah.
All right.
What?
So he's playing a merman. Do you know who's playing a mermaid and the love interest?
Who?
Dua Lipa.
Oh!
So I don't.
That's your wet dream right there.
Yeah, legit. I'm like, whoa, but wait, here's the thing. So, have you watched Money in the Bank yet?
Yeah, I watched this. I watched half of it. I got up to John Cena.
Good. So you can see where I'm going with this,
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah.
So I'm friends with Grayson Waller, name drop.
Yeah.
Wrestled with alongside him a couple of times and against him a couple of times. And just good mates. And we have a group chat and I messaged him and I was like, yo, Faz. That's his nickname. I was like, wait, what am I saying here? Yo, Grayson, Faz, whatever. I was like, what did I say? I was like, I know you just had a huge segment and stuff.
Yeah.
Can you please go ask John Cena if he kissed Dua Lipa and what it was like if he did? Didn't even congratulate him.
Yeah. No, I watched it. I had that written down here.
John Cena win Money in the Bank.
No, he didn't win it. He was just there.
Oh, okay.
He just legitimately walked out just to say London should get WrestleMania. And then Grayson walked out and said Australia should get it. And I was like,
WrestleMania Australia.
Yeah. It was like WrestleMania Australia. Yeah. I got so excited because I was like, oh my God. Because I saw it online remember when we spoke about it a little bit? That Perth put a bid in for it?
Yeah.
And I was like, I started like,
Yeah. I doubt London or Perth.
Yeah.
But I think we might get a premium live event. That'd be cool. And we have the stadium for it and stuff. And it would benefit all of the local scene so much.
For sure.
If we got one, I know for a fact EPW would do a Friday night show at Willetton Basketball Stadium and just make it a showcase, huge event. Kind of make it a festival of wrestling. So and
Pay-per-view event comes to Perth.
It's not called pay-per-view anymore.
Oh,
So
what is
premium
live event.
Premium live event. Because you don't
Pay-per-view. Wait, you don't pay for it? What?
No, it's because in
Streaming.
Australia they're on binge.
Yeah.
So you just pay for binge and it's there.
Wait, and you get all the premium events.
You get
Yeah.
everything.
No.
all of WWE from the beginning is on binge.
Wow.
You can go watch. I watched Matt Hardy and did the Hardy brothers versus the. Don't worry, I can't remember the names.
It was an old match.
A very old match.
Yeah.
2 blonde dudes with short hair. The hardcore.
Oh, Hardcore Holly?
Yeah,
And Crash Holly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
Yeah,
got
I was
there.
just thinking if a premium event comes to it comes to Perth, you have 20 to 50 kids knocking on the door of that shed going, hey, how can we become wrestlers?
Exactly, and it's
That's
really
yeah.
good. And I think a lot of people come through Australia and overlook it, both wrestlers and promoters alike, and they just see a dollar and want to make it. Whereas with stuff like that, it genuinely, they're coming here, bringing wrestling fans in here. It's boosting the wrestling economy, right?
Yeah.
As well as the state economy, if you want to look at it that way. And that's what wrestling needs to be about. Australian wrestling shouldn't be a stepping stone. And people look at it that way who just want to make it and, go wrestle for the 3 letters. Don't be such a big fan for the 3 letters and just enjoy the wrestling itself. So yeah, for me, within EPW, I had this kind of epiphany while I was away. I was like, I just want to help make this place as big as possible. And if something happens, that's great along the way, if I get picked up somewhere. But for me, there's something you went to the show, it's special. People that go get hooked in.
So
my
good,
boss
yes.
at work comes all the time now because he loves it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I feel like there's something else, performing for your demographic as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's performing for your home crowd, but being able to do that every week. Because when you, I guess the only thing that I could really compare it to is when massive Australian acts come back to Australia and perform, and it just feels so special.
Yeah.
It feels like I think not last year, the year before, maybe it was last year. I saw Tame Impala play his first Australian shows in ages. I saw Flume play his first Australian
Last year?
show. Yeah,
bro.
at Red Hill.
Yeah, so good.
And Rufus.
Yep.
Their first Aussie tour in 5 or 6 years as well.
Same night as Reawakening at Willetton Stadium last year. That was the
Oh,
worst
yeah.
night of my life. I got a quick little story for this. So Mr. Thompson, the teacher guy, we're in the
Yeah.
Rumble, which I went on to win to get the #1 contendership for Reawakening.
Hey, that's a story thing that we missed. We were like, because so obviously, like I told you, me and my friends only just found the person.
Yeah, of course,
so
and that's great.
We're missing plot.
Don't
holes.
be ashamed
Thank
of that.
you.
Like more people coming in and like just wanting to like be a part of it, and also like, and this is helping grow it as well. You know? So like that's a really cool thing.
I'm gonna let them know that's the plot hole we're missing.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, thank you.
So that Rumble night, we knew that it was gonna be. So that was in like October, and we knew that Reawakening was going to clash with Rufus Du Sol, and like I'm a huge Rufus Du Sol fan, so like Mr. Thompson picks me up. He's like, the Rumble was called Ticket to Madness, and he was like, here's your ticket to Rufus Du Sol, and tried to throw me out just to pop me. Like I was like, oh, excellent. He's a good brother, that man, Tomo. Yeah, but yeah.
That would have been a rough night.
But you're right. There's something extremely special about seeing Australian artists. I watched while I was away, I was looking for like full Flume set list because like I just wanted to listen to one of his live performances. And there was one in America, and all these Australians are commenting because they're like, why is nobody singing along? Like, why is nobody up and about? And like, because like when Flume comes here, like it was off chops.
He was like super teary because it was his first of the Australian shows here.
Yeah.
So it was the first time he was performing on home soil in like 6 years or something.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And he had donned the Australian flag.
Yeah.
And Perth's not his home state or anything, but he was like teary. He was emotional and you could feel it. And I got the same energy from Rufus as well because they ended their Australian tour in Perth. They'd gone everywhere else.
Yeah.
And they were emotional because they knew they were leaving again.
Yeah.
And it was just, just beautiful.
Even at like, not Australia or anything, but when I was at Dua's concert, sorry to bring her up again, but like she started crying because like she was leaving the country as well.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it was her last show of like the whole album's tour, like 150 something shows or something like that. So like I like either way, I think like Australia like always, because it's always the final leg, like it always resonates with artists. Like every time I've kind of seen it.
I saw some stat about like Perth has had the most amount of world tour ending shows than any other city.
There we go.
Because everyone finishes
because it's
in
so
Perth.
far away from everything else.
Yeah.
It's the most isolated.
And then they can jet
place.
off to like, wherever from like the Bahamas or like
But
Fiji.
that also like in my brain, I'm like, surely we've had some really famous people just chill out here for a week then, because the tour's ended.
Yeah. I feel like I'm missing something here where someone was just kind of in town and like nobody knew about it. Might come back to me.
When G-Eazy was in Perth, he was walking around.
Yeah, right.
No one knew what he looks like in Perth. He went to Culture Kings and no one noticed.
Wow.
And I guess like other rappers as well, but that's just no one
Oh,
really likes
Post
rapping.
Malone.
Yeah.
Post Malone was at like Amplifier one night. Like,
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
Yeah,
And he was randomly there.
when he came with Chili Peppers recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just an
He's coming
Amplifier.
again. He's coming again with Foo Fighters. He's coming.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
He
Perth.
loves rock music.
Yeah.
Because he's so into rock.
Yeah, that's sick.
When you were in Europe, like you said, you fought there on other brands.
Yep.
How does that work for you? So do you like message them? Do you send like a tape like it's sport and go like, this is me wrestling here?
Yeah, so like all of us have like a wrestling resume, so and we keep it updated. So it's like height, weight, nicknames, notable opponents wrestled, notable places worked for, who you were trained by, accomplishments, and then like a few matches and photos and stuff.
Yeah.
So we have that, but when I went to WXW in Germany, which is where I based myself for like the 8 or so weeks that I was there, I just emailed them and was like, I want to train, because like I didn't even expect to really get booked there. I just wanted to go there because I knew I had that big match coming up, coming home, and then like a real big push towards the end of the year. And I just wanted to focus on becoming a better wrestler, because like when I was over in the United States, I wrestled twice in Cali, but then the other places I didn't really wrestle, and I kind of lost track of myself and stuff like that. And I just needed to like refocus myself. Like I had some stuff go on while I was in Cali that like felt like it was derailing my trip, and I was just like, nah, I need to knuckle down. So I was actually
Was it girl related?
Yes.
Oh, nailed it! No, you had that little glitter in your eye. Where it was
Wow.
like, man, I'm
Yikes.
sorry. I'm just thinking about your
The mentalist over here, like.
Nah, mine's a money thing. I'm going straight to Netflix after this podcast with a pitch for them.
Have I got a story for you?
He
Main
played
character.
football.
Taylor King.
I'm already thinking about which actor I can hit up to play you and your football dad.
Oh, very good. Who would that's probably a question itself, the old biopic question, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, the old biopic question if I was too far back.
I reckon I'd get I'm really sorry to do this to you, but the Liam Hemsworth would play you, I reckon.
That's all right. I'll take that.
Yeah. I don't know who I'd get to play your. Yeah, I'm just all
Blindly just play
Yeah.
with. Get someone obscure like Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito.
Oh, can I do a Danny DeVito voice? Let me think about that.
Warm it up. Let us know when you're ready. Oh, you want to go now?
I'm trying to think of how he sounds.
All right.
I'd always say I ran with this thing for a bit. I was like, discount Zac Efron because I look like fucking Audi version of Zac Efron.
Yeah, you do.
So get me Zephron.
If he could pull off the Australian accent, let's do it.
Yeah.
If he could
Well, he
pull
was here quite a bit. Wasn't he dating an Australian for a
He's
bit?
still here, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like he lives in like Byron or something,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, does he actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he lives in Byron.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was there was a party last year. It was Dave, my mate's birthday. We're going on a boat party and we got our wrestling like headshots kind of updated that day and the photographer was like, "You look like Zac Efron." And then my mate Lucas Fantasia told one of like our other mates and then she was like, "Oh, like we're gonna make a drinking game out of like how many times Taylor brings up that the photographer
Just
told him
said
he looked like Zac Efron."
Everyone
was blasted.
They were long gone. Is the greatest memory you have in wrestling as a competitor or as a fan? What's like top tier, if I say?
Yeah, there's quite a couple. So me and Jules, like he's from Freo as well. We're like childhood mates. He was the one who got me into wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The one that picked you up and took you to
yeah. So we knew each other. We're long-time family. Like our families have been friends for ages. So which is really cool. So we're both born in Freo, and then last year we tag teamed together for kind of like the first time on an EPW show in Freo Social, like in that venue. And it was like we're against the Untouchables, like one of the best tag teams in this country, if not the world. And then like it started off shocking because the Dockers were playing the Bulldogs that day in the elimination final, and we were losing our heads before our match.
48 point.
Bro, we were like, we're going to be the biggest jokes because our whole gimmicks, we're called Freo's finest. Like, we're from Freo. Like, we had anchors on our trunks and everything. I'm like, we're going to get, like, laughed at here. And then the comeback happened and it, like, just turned into, like, the best energy because the crowd was so up and about because people were watching it on their phones, like, in intermission and that.
Yeah.
And then we went on to have, like, the wrestlers voted for it as match of the year. So that was just, like,
sick.
it was just, like, a really cool, like, turn of events and stuff, which was really cool. And then wrestling in that Willetton Basketball Stadium for the first time was awesome.
Yeah. Was this your first time? Just
no,
now,
Reawakening last year, the Rufus to Soul show.
Yeah.
Damn it. And being in the main event of a Reawakening is like a huge deal.
800 people.
Yeah, like it's just crazy, man. But it was like it got to that point where people just say like the crowd became a blur. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was like the like there's that many people that like all the faces just kind of mesh into one, like, and you can't really like, whereas like they're the easier shows to wrestle, but the harder shows to wrestle are the ones where like there's 40 people there and you can see everybody and they're all like watching and judging you, like when there's a huge mass of people.
And there's some
Makes it
guy
a lot
that
easier.
thought he's bought tickets to like a stripper show or something.
To Taylor Swift.
It closed off. Wait, this isn't Taylor Swift. This is Taylor King.
You really took it personally that I said. Oh, speaking of your trunks and everything, you keep mentioning them.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle.
I mean, you keep mentioning them.
I mentioned them once. And I
Okay,
showed you. And then you're the one who said a nice ass.
I did.
They asked where you get them from. Because I think I saw it on your Instagram that someone in Perth does it.
Yeah, so Dinky Dye.
That's the name.
Yeah, great. So yeah, Dye is her name, Dinky Dye. Like
Dinky
apparently,
Dye.
doesn't that mean something? Like it's an old like fair, like Like, yeah, it's dinky die. Oh, it means like it's legit. Like kind of like fair dinkum, like dinky die, it's dinky die.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah, so apparently it's like a play on words of like an old Australian slang word, I guess. But yeah, so she does all the gear. She used to make dance gear back in the day, and I was one of her first wrestling clients that kind of went to her. Like I was probably the second because I heard from someone else that made her gear, and then I went to her. So yeah, she made my gear. She's been making my gear since 2018, I think, there or thereabouts. And she's a wizard. She's so good. She makes my jackets, my like everything. My boots I get made somewhere else, but like the actual like fabric gear is all made by her. And she's absolutely phenomenal. She's doing gear for like people around Australia now, which is really good. But I just have like a really good relationship with her in the sense that like I'll go over there, design the gear with her, pick the materials, and then when she's making it, I'll be there, like just to kind of like, and that's why like everyone's like, why does your gear like always come out really, really nice? Because like I'm there all the time, like, and I can see something that maybe I thought was good at the beginning, and then like I might cut out during, you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, she's amazing. She did Pete Corelli's gear from Mix. So yeah, she's really good, and I'm glad to see that she's getting the recognition now as well. Yeah. She's awesome. Yeah.
I've heard from like other podcasts, boots are expensive.
Yeah, they're probably the most expensive part considering they're only one item. They're like 300 there or thereabouts.
80.
Australian. Yeah, the guy that makes it and is famous all around the world, Steve the Shoe Man. He's Australian. Yeah. So that's Australian dollars, and but he's really good. They're custom tailored. You can have like where you want the buckles, if you want a zip. Like what height do you want? Fits your foot perfectly. For me, I like my soles really flat. Yeah. So like really flat, like so I don't have a lot of lift in them to look taller. Like I wouldn't do that. So
look like they look like a message for someone.
Like because you know being a 6 foot tall heavyweight it ain't for everyone though. I'm joking. But yeah, so like he does my boots. I haven't changed my design of my boots in ages though.
Yeah.
Like,
I heard Sami Zayn on a podcast. He was talking about it, and he said, I bought one pair of boots once, and I've never changed it. Like, his entire attire changes constantly. Yeah, but his boots
it's always the same
boots.
Yeah.
Because you just find what you like and keep it.
100%.
See, once again, I've been listening to this, custom designer that you've got. Sounds a bit like your... in my head, I was just thinking of, Lucius from The Dark Knight.
Yes.
Yeah, and how he's like the only one, he's one of the only people that knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and he like custom designs his bat suit for him so that it's like bulletproof and agile. Yeah. So I was thinking a combination of Lucius from The Dark Knight and Edna from The Incredibles.
Yes.
And that's
Dinky.
Edna's the goat and Dinky's the goat.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I'm just thinking of like that character, and I can just visualize that scene in this Netflix documentary. I can just see it. What's her name again?
The
Dinky?
Story of Taylor King. It's writing itself right here.
Oh yeah.
It's writing itself.
Get it done, Netflix. Come on.
Dinky. I've got. I need it's like big wrestling night for you, and someone's tried to sabotage your night by like stealing your latex, and then you're like, Dinky, I need a last minute order, and she's like, I got you, and then she like gets to the event, you're not even dressed yet, you're just in some tracky dackies, and then she's like. And then, there.
That actually happened once.
No!
Yeah, it's in a similar vein. So
this is so cinematic.
Yeah, so when I was in a stable with the task force, like this was going back just after the pandemic, they had like Avengers Endgame like time travel suit, quantum suits, like the red white.
Yeah.
So they had that as like their tights. And they were the tag team. I was a singles guy, so I wore trunks still. But then one of the guys got injured, and we were number one contenders for the tag titles. So I had to sub in. We won the tag titles, but it was a 2-night show. The first one, she realized the cut was different, like the design was different because something was cut like a little bit like different to the original pair. Because obviously I got mine done.
And you're left
months
nuts.
after.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking of.
No, it was just the design. It was like it was an aesthetic thing. It wasn't a wardrobe.
That's weird.
That's all I was imagining. That's all I was thinking of was just see a nut. Just
no, none of that. Thank God I've had none of that. But then like she realized it, and then after the show, she like messaged me. She's like, "Bring your gear out. I'm gonna alter it so it looks exactly like Jack's, like my tag team partners." And then the next night, night she came again because she watches all of our shows. Gives me my gear before the show. Like, if I didn't have that gear, like, I wouldn't have had like. Yeah, I wouldn't have had it to wrestling. Yeah, I would have had to have us showing a nut, I guess. Like, no choice.
The crowd would have gone wild.
Not all heroes wear capes, but some make them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dinky. We're running out of time.
Okay.
But I guess this one might be fun. We'll do 2 more. Have you had any horror fan interactions?
Ooh.
Like, is there like a story that sticks out?
Not really. Like, fans are pretty respectful and good nowadays. The Insta DMs is a different story.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like deleted requests and stuff, like of them just. So like, I guess that's the horror story is that like, and that's the thing. Like,
What are you getting on Instagram?
just like dudes messaging me like about like, oh, love the way you're bent over here, and it's never girls either. So I'm just like, it's always the guys.
I can just imagine after your fight, some drunk guy is like, "Oh, I'm gonna message him."
I don't mind if like I don't get offended if a guy hits on me, but if they're like blatantly like being graphic about stuff in my DMs, I'm like
things I would do to that ass. Man.
yeah. And there's a subreddit of like wrestlers like, and I'm like the king of that subreddit just because like. Oh, I'll be honest, I do post thirst traps, like, you know what I mean? But, like, then, like, they'll just take him and then they'll be like, oh, or I'll be wrestling a guy and they'd be like, oh, these two would be so good in the bedroom. Like, just fantasizing about stuff. Like, yeah, so stuff
I thought I was going to Taylor Swift. This will do.
Yeah, no, wrestling fans are pretty respectful nowadays, which is really cool. And, like, we try to be as approachable as possible. We're not big superstars who like the ones that I see with like it's happened with Rhea Ripley quite a bit lately, like, and there was one with Jeff Hardy where like fans are just meeting them at airports and like asking for 20 things to be signed, obviously like so they can go sell them.
Yeah.
And like they've just come off a red-eye flight. Like some wrestling fans are super disrespectful, especially if they think they can make money off stuff as well. You know, so like, and like people don't deserve that. Like wrestlers are humans at the end of the day too. Like no matter how much you earn their money,
We're humans.
they're not like Erling Haaland. They're not a robot. But yeah, so for me, like wrestling fans are pretty good. Like from my encounters, and like, I give them a lot of time. Like you saw after the show, I really enjoy like sticking around and talking to people and letting them know that because like I don't wrestle if they aren't there. So like I'm extremely thankful that like people come and they cheer. And you know there was a little girl with like a custom made like Taylor King like #1 fan shirt and her dad brought her.
I did see that.
Yeah, it was so cute. Like warmed my heart. So like stuff like that is worth more than like any dollar that wrestling can kind of give to me. That if I can make a difference in someone's life, I guess, and like be that type of person for them, it's really cool.
That was wholesome.
See, I made it wholesome after you asked for horror ones. See, I'm good at this.
You're like, I've
in the making.
I've been PR trained. And then the last thing is that this is something that came from Jacques personally. He asked.
Love the name Jacques, by the way. It's great.
Yeah.
Such a cool name.
He's just asked if you could teach us how to take a chop and do a chop to us if you're okay with doing
now?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. It's not my
We've got the
forte.
mobile microphone today.
Okay, beautiful.
So if we can quickly.
There's not a lot. I mean, we had space. Is there space for this?
Yeah. All I need is
do you know what
the
it is?
palm like that.
Yeah. Oh, I was okay. Yeah.
The
okay,
Ric Flair.
Yeah, the
yeah,
chop
okay.
across the chest.
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna do it.
all right. Let's do it.
And they look like they hurt a lot.
It's just a lot of slap and thud.
You're going first.
Oh, okay. Oh God. Oh my God.
Do we have to
Why am I
prepare
so excited?
ourselves in some way?
Just relax. Like don't tense up.
Do I actually get hit? Is it?
Yeah, it's like to the chest.
There's no possible way.
Alright.
It's like you remember camel bites as a kid. Like,
Yeah.
It's like that on the chest.
Oh
so.
shit. Oh my God. I need some beer.
Yeah.
Wait on. Oh my God.
It was
Get yourself a bud.
It was a good idea that you gave us that extra bedroom today. Headroom today. Like how high is the camera?
Oh God. All right.
Are you ready?
I'm so nervous. All right.
So the idea, I'll show you what I'm gonna do, so
Yeah,
you don't get too like enthralled with it. So I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna wind up, and I'm just gonna go like that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's just like a slap to the chest. All
All
right.
right.
So and don't tense up.
Yeah, try not to, because then you can bring your shoulder in the way, and like, I wouldn't do that, Mikey Nichols, wouldn't I? There's a good backstory to that one. All right, so nice and easy. I'm gonna give you a nice one. I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna swing for the fences here. All right. So that was nice.
That was
like,
good.
yeah.
That was good.
Usually, like you watch like guys that come back from here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just go on from
Holy
shit.
shit.
That was good.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Makes you feel alive.
I can see how oh wow. Okay, cool.
You liked it.
Yeah.
So same thing.
Yeah,
Same thing. All right. So I'll just go from here to here. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not doing the full.
Give it to me.
You want a big one?
Yeah, give it to
But
him.
then when I screw it up, I'm just gonna be like, oh, what an idiot.
Go.
All right.
Oh.
So
It's
like,
nice,
it's
hey?
not that bad. Plus all the shit. All right, cut it.
What I was wanted to say is that I never understood why in wrestling there's a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of
Selling?
like the fake hits or the what is it, chop?
Yeah.
Chop.
Yeah.
But that made me realize getting hit in the chest really pumped me up for a second. And I'm just like, oh, you'd need that, like, you need that energy. You
Yeah.
need that, like,
Let's go.
force. Yeah.
Yeah. Gunther's ones are not fun at all. I think. Are these ones back on?
Yeah, they're back on.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, his are not fun at all. They look like they
They look
absolutely
intense.
suck.
They
But
throw you back.
But it brings you into the match so much more, like those
When
types.
you
It
watch
just
it?
wakes the crowd
Yes.
up. Like it's big movement, loud noise. Red comes up on the chest. You can see it's real. The crowd kind of.
Yeah.
My hair's all done itself.
There was that bump you took
crazy.
there. Yeah.
The what's it called? The at Evolution, the dude, the skateboard guy. I don't remember his name.
Alex Kingston.
His kicks were crazy. His drop kicks.
Yeah.
Oh my! All three of us were like, ah!
Yeah.
And it was
CJO.
CJL took
Yeah.
him like a freaking champ.
Yeah, man.
That-
Kingston's been going for like 3 years now. He's one of the best wrestlers in the country. Like, dude.
He's only been wrestling for 3 years.
No, he's been away for 3
Oh,
years.
okay.
He was wrestling for like 15 years before that.
Yeah.
But he had a kid and COVID happened, so he just
Yeah.
went away for a bit.
Okay.
So we're very lucky to have him back. And like, people kind of like, I don't know, people think I have an agenda or like blah, 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 blah. Like they think I'm biased and stuff. But like, EPW has the best roster in the country by a mile, I think.
Yeah.
Just like our exposure online isn't as big as what it can be. So once we get that sorted, I think like a lot of
On the
people
way.
are going to start like seeing us like internationally and stuff. But having said that, I'm not putting down feds like Riot City Wrestling in Adelaide, Wrestle Rampage in Adelaide.
Federations.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's what we call them.
I went straight to
feds.
police.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Like MCW in Melbourne, PWA in Sydney. Like I'm not gonna say like that's not a knock on them. I just like they're supremely good as well. But EPW, like we're our wrestling. Like we like to say we're world class
That's
and like
fair. Yeah, that's fair to be.
like
To love what you do for.
100%. And like people like that come to us and watch us wrestle, they're like, geez, there's not a lot of difference between like here and like the WWE,
Yeah.
like wrestling quality wise.
I said that last episode that the Evolution was better than when I went to see WWE in Melbourne.
Yeah.
When they came at the MCG.
Oh yeah, I was there as well.
Yeah.
Good
When
times.
they came to that, I was like, it was so much. It felt. I don't know what it was. I think it was because it was more intimate.
Of course.
That was the feeling. But I was like, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, again, I guess. Thank you.
No,
thank
thanks
you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This has been great. Like I love, as I said like before, I'm not a complete like robot wrestler who only does wrestling. Like it's cool to have chats with you guys. Those questions at the start are amazing. Like that was so good. And just like, we start chatting about like why Triple J is awful and Taylor Swift is Satan. Like this is the podcast I love, baby. That's what I'm all about.
Hey, everything we speak about is absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
Hence the name. Yeah, hence the name. We're just speaking nonsense. Yeah, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it. Thank you for answering You're the first person I've ever messaged that wasn't one of our friends.
Wow,
to come
okay.
on. So you responded, and I was like, that gave me so much.
Well,
Kind of like our
confidence,
first
yeah.
celebrity guest. I mean, Kyle thinks he's a celebrity, but
Kyle, you make him a celebrity.
I do.
Kyle,
But you definitely have been our first celebrity guest. So thanks so much for coming on the potty.
You guys are pumping up my tires and making me feel good. But yeah, like I'm sure if you consider me a celebrity, I feel sorry for you. No, like I hope it opens the door for you guys as well, because like this is a bunch of fun and like obviously I'm gonna promote a lot of this show and stuff, and hopefully it gets a lot more eyes on you guys.
Thank
and
you.
Hope,
It's so
I
nice.
think you guys get more eyes on us as well.
Yeah. We're gonna get George next. The Macedonian George. I love
Please,
him.
he's
I
a
love
very
him.
funny character.
He
as
recognized
well.
me and it made me so happy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he was like, oh, I saw you in varsity. I was like, ah! Oh my goodness. But yes,
What a
again,
man.
one more time, tell everyone where to find you. Anything you want to shout out again with your Roxy's event and everything.
Yeah, of course. So, yet again, I'm Taylor King. You can find me on Instagram at The Real Taylor King, on Twitter at Real Taylor King. I'm on Facebook as well, Taylor King Professional Wrestler. YouTube, I'm on there. Just give me a search up. EPW Perth on YouTube, EPW Perth on Twitter, EPW Perth on Instagram. We've got the Roxy Riot tribute show coming up August 5th at the Armadale Arena. All proceeds go to Meningitis Australia. And then we've got EPW's Hella High Water at the Cannington Showgrounds and Exhibition Centre on August 12th, 2 days before my birthday, might I add. And I will be walking into my birthday as the new EPW champion.
As the reigning.
We are singing you happy birthday when you win that belt, boys.
Absolutely. Taylor King and the Don in a steel cage, baby. It's my
that's
present
sick.
to everyone.
That is awesome. That is so good.
We have a little tradition on how we sign off our
we didn't
episodes.
plug ourselves. Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember on Instagram, absolute.nonsense without any vowels for the first A. We're on YouTube as well. Go subscribe. Help us get to 100. When that happens, probably won't do anything for it, but you'll see. Now you can do it.
All right, so we have a little tradition on how we sign off the episode. So I'll say the word, he'll say the word, and then you can be the final voice.
Okay,
Alright,
so I get to say whatever.
Thanks.
Yeah.
No, it's a word. You got to copy the word. It's the same word.
Okay.
Yeah. So thanks for listening, guys. Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo. Nice. I thought we were doing like some wordplay thing.
No.